Updates on the Summer Olympics, Hugh, Dale Jr., and the U.S. women's soccer team up next. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. I'm glad you're watching. I'm Caroline Haney with 5 Things Sports, here to bring you a 5 Things Sports monthly update for the month of July. On this show, we're going to bring you up to speed on some of the stories that we have told you about over the past month. First up, an update to a story I brought you in our July 16th episode, where I told you about the International Olympic Committee announcing locations for the 2024 and 2028 Olympic Games. In that episode, I told you that they announced that the locations for those games would be LA and Paris. However, they didn't say which one would be where. On July 31st, the IOC announced that the 2 cities have come to an agreement, with Paris earning the 2024 Games and LA winning the 2028 Games. If you would like to know more details about how they sorted this out and the contractual agreements between the cities and the Olympic Committee, please check the description for a link below. I've got 2 updates for you this week from stories from the July 23rd episode. First up, we have an update to the Hugh story. While there have not been any updates concerning a new head coach for Ole Miss, we'll certainly keep you updated about that. There have been reports from many sources in the weeks following that initial story that the person who outed Hugh was actually a Mississippi State fan. If you don't know, Mississippi State and Ole Miss are in-state rivalries, and I think this just took it to a whole new ugly level. Be sure to mark your calendars for November 23rd when those 2 teams match up this season. It's sure to be something to watch, especially on social media, as I'm sure the tweets and everything will start flying soon. Also, on the July 23rd episode, I told you about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the announcement from Hendrick Motorsports of who will replace him behind the wheel in the 88 car following his retirement at the end of the season. While we were all sure that the lifelong NASCAR legend would be in the sport in some capacity, we really weren't sure what that would be. Well, on July 24th, it was announced that Dale Jr. would be joining the NBC broadcast team for races in the 2018 season. I know race fans are ecstatic about this, as he is the most popular driver in the sport. And I'm sure that it will add a new level of color commentary for the NBC team. Finally, just this past July 30th, I brought you a story about the women's national soccer team who lost to Australia after going 25-2 against the Aussies. Well, I am happy to report that the U.S. team has redeemed themselves after a huge come-from-behind win against Brazil on Sunday night. The U.S. women went on to win 4-3 after being down 3-1 to Brazil with only about 10 minutes left in the game. They scored those 3 goals in 9 minutes, and if you're not very familiar with soccer, that's just ridiculous. More highlights from the game, there'll be a link in the description below. And stay tuned for more from the national team as round robin play in the Tournament of Nations continues Thursday. Well, that's all the updates I have for you this month, but I did want to throw one more thing in to make it a great number of 5. Jordan Spieth celebrating his 24th birthday in champion style with his birthday cake on top of the claret jug that he won at the British Open. You can see his brother and sister there celebrating with him. Not too shabby of a way to celebrate. The 24-year-old will go for his 4th major in just a couple of weeks in Charlotte, North Carolina. As always, thank you for watching 5 Things Sports. If you missed an episode from July, you can find a link in the description below to the July playlist with all of the episodes from July there. Did I miss an update? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this episode, please hit that like button. If you really like this episode, please hit that subscribe button. If you really like this episode and never want to miss another one, be sure to hit that notification. All of those you can find below. And be sure to tweet at us if you see any sports highlights throughout the week that you want us to cover. Thanks again. I'm Caroline Haney, and I'll see you next week.